what it brings to mind for me is, right now you put the word tribe in my head. And so, and so I think about that again, if I'm thinking about it as a successful real estate professional, building my own tribe of people, right, that I'm going to refer business to, and they're going to refer business back to me. But then in this idea of building this tribe of clients, right, for current and future customers, or however we want to call that. But we're also building a like profile when we do that, aren't we?
We are, absolutely.
Yeah. And we want to make sure we do that intentionally. And this is kind of like the Diane hotspot, right? So when I think about that, I can't help it. My brain goes to be careful, right? Because you want to make sure that the people that you're offering that to are the people who, as customers, you want them to repeat, right?
That's right. Yeah. So, and people tend to in most cases, refer people who look like them, because we tend to, in our human behavior, hang with people that are similar to us, socioeconomically, demographically. So I agree with you. You want to be selective, because whatever kind of client I am, whatever you know about me, the person I hand the referral to probably will look pretty similar to me. Yeah. And that might be good for the tribe, right? Tribes like people who look the same or are the same, but you just need to be really intentional about who you ask to do referral because of that.
And so in our last few minutes, what other ways do you think the professional services world known as real estate, right? Real estate professionals, how do you think they should look at referrals maybe differently in light of all of the things that we've painted for them?
It's probably, I think, one really important tip that I think I can hand on that as a way to execute on it. The trickiest part of referral is knowing when to ask for it. When you ask somebody, can you refer me to somebody else? The biggest mistake most people make is they do it almost as soon as you become their client. Hey, like, we're going to start working together. Could you? And I really love you refer to other people. And you know what that person's thinking, that customer's thinking is, I don't even know if this is going to work out yet. And you're already asking me to refer somebody else, right? So that's not a good time. Sometimes we think it's at the point of the transaction. So when the transaction is sort of completed, before we lose touch with each other, that might be the right moment in some cases. I'll tell you what the right moment is. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to find it for yourself, but here's how you'll find it. There's a really interesting bit of human psychology called the peak end rule. Peak end rule. And it says in experiences, our brains are wired to remember two moments, the highlight of the moment, the highlight of the experience, and the very end of it. And ideally, those two things in a really well-designed experience come together, the highlight and the end, right? So practical world, if you go to Disney World, at the end of the night, they have a huge fireworks show. Yep. Hopefully that's the big memorable part. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now they do a laser show too, but they also have fireworks. But there might have been a lot of stuff at Disney World that day that wasn't particularly memorable or enjoyable. It might have been, it's Florida, it's way too hot and the kids were crying and all that stuff, right? But Disney knows you're going to remember leaving the park that night. So what you're trying to figure out is, where is your peak in your experience? And that's the moment to ask. And you kind of have to watch for it. You might have just had a really good day where the client just felt like, you really showed me, the properties you showed me today were spot on to what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm going to pick one, but I just appreciate how much you understand me. I would time they ask for referral sometime close to that moment. It might be at the moment they take possession of the home.
Right.
But that's what we're looking for, because that peak moment is where I'm feeling like the highest level of satisfaction. And I think the mistake would be, I have a system for asking referrals. I always ask it when I get this piece done. That is not how human behavior works. What you want to look for is, where's the moment where people feel ultimately like this is a great experience, they're being satisfied. And then I would time the request for referral. Maybe not at that exact moment. Like, I wouldn't say like, hey, you're feeling great, so this is what I'm going to ask you. But you want to get it close to that. And you can do that when you don't have a million clients. If you've got 100 or 200, you can ask that.
And do you recommend tying it to the experience? So, for example, we see it everywhere, right? We see everyone's very different way of asking, but they typically use the word referral, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way that you see a kind of a better way, like in the peak moment, saying, gosh, I hope you really enjoyed that. If you have some friends that, may want to have the same experience, let them know about me.
Yeah, I think
Right.
you actually just hit on the right language there. Yeah. I would love it if, I think this has been great. I've appreciated, helping you. I feel like you're telling me this worked out great. If you would feel comfortable sharing this experience with others,
Mhm.
I would love for you to do that. And also, by the way, I'd be happy to give you this, benefit that you could share with somebody else. So if they wanted to give me a try, that they could do that. I wouldn't use the word referral. I agree with you. That's
Yeah,
it's a marketing term.
it is.
And
Said the loyalty marketing guy.
Exactly. And it's important for us to have terms, but it doesn't mean, it's the same reason I'll tell customers like, hey, I really appreciate that you're part of segment 10 of my customer base. We don't use our internal
Right,
language
right.
with our customers. So I think you've really hit on it there, which is you're asking somebody, the other language maybe you would use is, I've really enjoyed, our partnership here together. If there are other people that you think I could help,
Right.
so put it in those terms. I would love to have you share that information,
Yeah.
and also give them some easy mechanism to share that. That's where I'd say, don't hesitate to say, I'll send you something you could forward to them, or here's something you can hand to them. Because actually that helps people remember, like, oh yeah, I have that thing from Diane that she said I could share with somebody. Don't be shy about handing them something or sending them something that makes it easy to do it. But I agree with you. It's more about saying, can you find other people that I could help or share this kind of experience with?
Yeah.
I'd love to have you do that.